M.A. Jackson, Criterion Collector Reviewer guy. And this is number 54, For All Mankind. What you're hearing is the sounds of the orb, cut from their first studio album, Backside of the Moon. It's a track. The album's called Adventures Beyond the Ultra World. And I totally didn't put two and two together when I was watching this, and I realized that most of the space samples from this album are from this movie. Because it was released in 1989, around the time that they started recording this album. So, light's a bit of a glare, but it's better than a little more dramatic than just putting it in there. So, I'll sit over here. Of course, you can't see me if I'm that's as good as it would be. Anyway, For All Mankind, 1989, directed by Al Reiner. This one's short because I can't really say much about this one. It's like, how loud can this album be? Before you can't hear me. Yeah, this one's hard to talk about because it's basically just a documentary of. It's not even a documentary. It's just like a collage of film that NASA astronauts had filmed back in the 70s and 60s and 70s, documenting all the documenting their travels and behind the scenes stuff and all that, and just them on the moon and in flight and all that, and just laden with sound effects and footage of Houston and all that. And it's a real treat. It's beautifully shot. Wonderful soundtrack by Brian Eno. If I had the soundtrack, I'd totally be playing it over this review. But I thought The Orb is the next best thing. The Orb is a trip in space in itself. And it's hard to describe it. It's basically it's just a trip that all this footage was just in NASA's archives, and nobody really took to looking into exploring it and showcasing this footage until Al Reiner came around and asked for permission and got in and just found the best and put all this footage together. It's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. They're astronauts goofing off, but also a lot of very beautiful shots of Earth and stuff of them on the moon. And it's just a trip that this technology was available to them back in the 60s. And it's a real eye opener. This was in 1989 too. So, since 1989, obviously space, I don't know where space or NASA equipment was in 1989. But, and considering how far we've come today. But back in the 60s, 69, 71, 70, when this stuff was done, it's a trip to see Houston, seeing everybody in the control room watching a camera, watching them on space, on the moon. I don't know why. They're in space on the moon. It's a trip and a half. And yeah. So, that's all. That's all I got to say about it. You got to see it to believe it. It's beautiful soundtrack, beautiful footage, and just it's breathtaking. That's all I can say. And for that, I give it an A. This one goes into the wish list as well. It's a wonderful film. Deserves to be in the Criterion collection. There you go. It's an A, and it's beautiful. Supplements. Let's see. There's a 40-minute documentary about the making of For All Mankind, with footage, new interviews with Reiner and Apollo 12 and Skylab astronauts Alan Bean and NASA archive specialists. And yeah, they go back into the old archives and dig out the footage again. They have to keep them in like this really cold storage room, which makes sense so that the film won't warp or anything like that. Yeah, and there's like it's really really interesting to hear people talk about it, especially when they're talking about his drive to make this film. As well as that, there's On Camera, a collection of excerpted on-screen interviews with 15 of the Apollo astronauts. Yeah, that's another thing about the film. There's a lot of interviews with astronauts, but they don't show the astronauts at any point in the movie. They show like all the old footage. So none of the there's no new footage of the astronauts on screen. It's just the new footage of them talking. But here it's like it's just them on the screen talking. So it's more stuff about the stuff that I guess I'm assuming I don't think was in the film. So more information on it. It's a 40-minute program about featuring Alan Bean's artwork. I guess after he left NASA, he became a painter and he painted all these images from his travels. And yeah, I kind of sped through that because it goes on for 40 minutes and he just talks about them in his very slow speech patterns. And that, I mean, it was really cool to see him. He's a really wonderful painter, but at the same time, it dragged on just a little. I mean, there's space between them, and I know it was just sort of like, I'm just more of a guy, like, I see the painting, I can analyze it, I see everything he's narrating it too, so I can figure it out from his narration, from my own observations. We're parallel, we're running at this thing, like, parallel, and we'll get there. So, yeah, then there's a bunch of, like, audio highlights, a lot of the famous clips, like the One Small Step for Man clip, and the clip of them reading the first chapter, Genesis, which Mike Oldfield used for Let There Be Light, his Songs of Distant Earth album, which I've not heard that album in ages, so to hear that, I was like, oh my god, who used that clip? It wasn't the Orb. The Orb didn't use that God Said Let There Be Light. It was Mike Oldfield, so hey. But then again, hearing all the Orb clips in this movie was a trip. Like we're on the backside of the moon, you never know. Which is somewhere in this track. I don't know if you've heard it yet, but I haven't been listening to the track. And of course, all the Yahoo! The guys jumping on the moon, and the astronaut report. It feels good. Just a trip. And I think some of the Brian Eno music was sampled too. And yeah, then there's just some footage of blast off footage. Yeah, that's all I got. So once again, get this one because it's a trip and a half, and it's definitely worth your time. But for now, because it's got that stupid little yellow bar that says Sacramento Public Library, gets to throw. So that's number 50. That was number 54. And then here we have number 55, which of course is a little plus. But if you dig underneath, we got number 55, The Unbearable Lightness of Being. Now this is not the Criterion edition, but I found out that but it's gone out of print, so this film, I guess the Criterion collection edition of The Unbearable Lightness of Being is just the film, so yeah, I'm not too worried. Yeah, so anyway, sorry about this being so late. I wanted to do this last night, but something came up, and I thought I had to put it off for today, or tonight, I guess. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. But yeah, anyway, so Variable Lightness of Being, we'll get to this one probably Tuesday, and then 39 Steps I haven't gotten yet. Charade is in my backpack. But yeah, we're still waiting on 39 Steps, so we won't get to 39 Steps until, I don't know, Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure which day. Maybe Saturday, probably Saturday too. If not Thursday or Friday, then Saturday we'll get to 39 Steps. And then Charade we'll probably do Sunday or Monday, and then The other ones I'm waiting on. Still waiting on. Peeping Tom is in transit, and the Night Porter. The Night Porter is another one that I haven't been able to get the Criterion Collection edition, but I was able to get a VHS copy of it. This will be fun. But again, the Night Porter doesn't have any supplements, so yeah, we're all good. And yeah, so thanks for watching. If you like what you hear, check out the Orbs Adventures Beyond the Ultra World. Hell, just put it over the. You can put that over. You know, I kind of wish they'd kind of do this movie again, and they should put the Orb over this footage because man, you should. In fact, I bet you there is somebody out there who's like taken the For All Mankind movie and just muted it and put this soundtrack over the movie. And just had a hell of a time with it. Anyway, I'm done blathering on. I'm just totally vibed out from the Orb. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we will see you Tuesday for The Unbearable Lightness of Being, which the looks of it looks like it's going to be a tough one. So, but hopefully it's not Solo material. Hopefully it's not like Solo. Anyway, until then, thanks for watching. I should just let this play, but it goes on for another 2 minutes. And, yeah, we'll cut it short. So anyway, thanks for watching, and until Tuesday.